Hello Leo, Turquoise Tarot here with your reading for April 2017. I hope you're all doing well. Couple quick announcements. I just want to remind everyone that I have a special going on presently for my private readings. So if you purchase a 20-minute reading, you get an additional 15 minutes free. If you purchase a 40-minute reading, you get an additional 10 minutes for free. And you can choose to either use that time to ask an additional question, or you can choose to use that time to allow me to then further elaborate on what your initial questions were for your reading. If you're interested in pursuing a private reading, please feel free to reach out to me and contact me via the email address or my website, and I will post both those links below under this video. Also, if you're interested in making a donation to my channel, which is always greatly appreciated, I will post the links for that below as well. Just want to say a quick thank you to all the subscribers and all those who have liked and commented on the videos. I truly appreciate you, and I appreciate your feedback. So with all that said, let me go ahead and get started on your reading for April. And this first spread is going to be a general reading for the sign of Leo for the month of April. And then I'm going to do two other readings, one for singles and one for couples, to see what's coming in regarding love and relationships. So give me just a moment here. I'm going to shuffle and see what the general messages are. We have the Seven of Swords, the Emperor, Seven of Wands, two sevens, Ace of Pentacles, the Star, Queen of Swords, the Sun, Ten of Swords, and Judgment. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Pentacles. This Ten of Swords has come out a lot. I think this is more or less talking about endings, completions to things, rather than, actual back pain or any type of stabbing in the back. But for you, Leo, I have to say, with the two sevens at the top, I feel like this is in regards to relationships, or how you're perceived in your community, or your relationships with others and how you interact with others. I think a lot of that is on the forefront for April. And I see here with the Emperor at the top that I almost feel like you're getting in control of your own destiny, and you're taking charge of manifesting in a physical sense what you want. So if it's like you want a promotion, you are going to put in the effort to get that promotion. You're going to network, you're going to talk to, upper management, you're going to try to get a feel for what they're looking for. I think you're really going to try to put yourself out there in April. There's something here about standing up for yourself, standing up for your truth, standing up for... I almost feel like you're kind of standing up for yourself in the sense that, look, I deserve better, I deserve more pay, I deserve, better benefits, compensation, or I deserve to be treated better than this, because you feel like you're being taken advantage of in some way. And so you're standing up for yourself in April, and I see you saying, really opening up and being vulnerable, but speaking your truth and saying, look, I deserve more than this, and you're going to pay me more than this. Or if it's in a relationship setting, it's telling somebody, I deserve better than the way you're treating me. So either you own up to that, or we're done here. It's kind of like you're finally just saying enough is enough. And with the Queen of Swords, I feel like this could be a boss that you're dealing with, who may be a female, may be an air sign. That would be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, okay? And this is someone who's not very emotional, not very emotionally based with her employees. I feel she's more, I don't know, you may consider her a tyrant, or you may consider her as like a micromanager, but she's just not emotionally connected with her staff or with those under her that she manages. So I feel like you're standing up for yourself with this boss in the month of April, and I see an opportunity here for a new position for you. Either you've said, I've had enough of this and I'm posting out, or I'm posting for something else, or I'm doing something else, I'm leaving this job, I'm going to another job, or whatever it may be. There's a new beginning here for you, and I feel like you're going to get that position, and it's going to be something where it's a blessing. It's something like you've hoped for. Maybe it's something you've been working towards for several years, but this month in April you finally have the guts to just say, enough is enough. I'm going to do what I got to do to get there, and you get there. So there is a completion here with the Ten of Swords of this cycle, and I feel like maybe you've been doing something. This job that you're presently in, or that you've recently left, is a place where you just weren't recognized, you weren't getting what you deserved, you weren't getting the pay you deserved. They weren't understanding of your talents, your skills, and what you were bringing to the table. So in this new position, those things will be acknowledged, will be addressed, will be appreciated, and I feel like you will be getting what you deserve, okay? So there's a rebirth here in the sense of, you know, completing this one cycle but beginning anew with the Judgment card and living in a new way. So for some of you with this Judgment card, this could be even a change in career, you know, doing something dramatically different than what you have done up to now. But I do feel this is strongly work related, because as the overall energy, again, we do have the Eight of Pentacles, and this is about work, you know. And sometimes when I look at this Eight of Pentacles, I think about how boring this must be to create these many pentacles just over and over and over again, and his only job is to make sure it's precise. So you may have felt like your job, not only were they not taking, you know, care of you as an employee, but you also felt like your job just was mind-numbing or boring, or, look, I've done this for so many years, I don't want to do this anymore. There's something else that I want to pursue now, so I'm going to go pursue that, and, you know, I'm sorry if you don't like it, but this is what I need to do, because this is where my happiness is, and this is what I need to do to be happy. So for some of you, it's that, you know, it's not even working under somebody, it's leaving a profession or leaving a career that you've done for many years, and now it's like, I can't do this anymore, I gotta do something that's good for me. But there's a promise here that by going where your passions lead you, you're gonna be successful. Let me look at this with the Gypsy Oracle cards, and I want to look first at, I want to look at this Ace of Pentacles. So we have reunion, sweetheart, and romance. Or I'm sorry, not romance. Reunion, sweetheart, and journey. I was looking at this thinking romance, I don't know. But with these three cards on the Ace of Pentacles, I know these look like romantic cards, and for some of you maybe, you know, it can be that, but being that this is a general reading and I'm feeling more this is work related, I really feel like this is talking about reuniting with a passion and making an effort to journey towards that, to move towards that, and do what actually brings you happiness and brings you joy. And now that you're working towards that, it's a brand new beginning, not only in a career sense, but in a financial sense as well. I think money will be you'll be prosperous, both emotionally and financially. That's what I should say. Let me look at the star here in the center. Strong Leo presence in this reading too with the sun. So you're coming up in your own reading. House, death, and reprieve. So yes, leaving some secure foundation, like I said, a career that you've been in for a long time, or a job, leaving something secure and ending that cycle and moving into something that maybe, again, you've been wanting to do for a long time, or you've been pursuing for a long time, and it's now finally your turn to get to that point and get what you want. Okay? I want to look at the Judgment card. So for Judgment, we have misfortune, young woman, and the letter. So the misfortune card is like the Tower in the Rider-Waite, and that's all about breaking down foundations to build something new. Something has to be broken down to build something new upon it. So this is, again, there's a big change going on career-wise for you guys, and you're really asking yourselves, what is it that I'm passionate about? What is it I really want to do? I feel like if you're in a position where you don't feel respected or you don't feel appreciated, you're going to be leaving that. And the young woman here is telling me that you're starting on a new venture. It's something that maybe, if it's a different career altogether, there may be a period where you're in training or you're learning. It's something you haven't done before, so it's going to take some time to really get the hang of the job, which is fine with you because you're tired of repetitiveness and you're tired of doing the same old thing. So new things is something excitable and agreeable to you. And I think this offer is coming in the form of communication, like a letter or an email or some type of written communication. So that's what I see for the general reading, guys. I'm going to move into what's going on for the single Leos for April. We have the Wheel of Fortune, 8 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, King of Cups, King of Pentacles, and the 9 of Swords. Bottom of the deck for overall energy is the 3 of Wands. Well, and I'm sorry guys if the fan noise, I can't help it. I'm trying to talk over it, so I apologize. I see 2 men here, guys. So for females, there's 2 men that are interested, and I think one of them is a really good would be a really good partner for you, and I think that would be this King of Cups. I see a water sign, so I see a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. excuse me. I had to take a drink of water. But I also see an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, okay? And I think this King of Cups is going to come in and make a commitment to you, but then this King of Pentacles, maybe somebody new. So it's almost like maybe you know this King of Pentacles already, or why am I saying that? King of Cups, I'm sorry. It's almost like you've known this King of Cups for a while, or there's someone from the past and you've known them. There's a change in your relationship dynamic because romance is brought into the mix. So maybe you're friends with this person. Maybe they're a friend of a friend. But then I also see this month that we have an earth sign, again, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, that is coming in. This is somebody new. This is somebody new coming in the month of April. And they kind of throw you off balance because at the same time, you're getting an offer from this water sign. So there's some worry, there's some, I see you're kind of like, what should I do? Who should I pursue? Because I think for you, I feel there's a strong attachment to this water sign, and I think you really, really, really want to see where this goes with this water sign. But with the earth sign, there's something there. There's a lot of interest there, and I think it's sexual. I think there's a lot of sexual attraction there. So I think you want to test the waters, but at the same time, you want to pursue something with this King of Cups. So there's temptation here. And I want to say this male, this earth sign, now he may not be an earth sign and the other guy may not be a water sign. That's how they're coming up in the reading. But this earth sign, he can be someone that you work with. And I feel like you're worried about reputation, or you're worried about word getting out if you do pursue something with this earth sign, or let's just say somebody at work, because they don't have to be an earth sign, okay? And you're worried about whether or not they're going to be able to keep their mouth shut. That's what I feel. But with this water sign, I kind of feel like this is someone, again, you've already known, and now there's a change, a positive change in your relationship because they're wanting a commitment and they're coming to you and saying, you know, let's try this. Let's see where this goes. Now, if you're a male Leo, I'm seeing here that you may have an interest in a female, but there's two other men that are also interested. That would be the water sign and the earth sign, okay? And I think you know, you're aware of their presence and they're aware of you. You all know that you're interested in this one person, okay? So there's worry here about whether or not you're going to be able to obtain this relationship because in your mind, this is like, you know, this is the person for you. This is someone that you really want to be with. And I'll have to let me pull some clarifying cards here, because for the men who are interested in a female, I would say I can't tell whether or not this is someone new or this is someone from your past that you're already dealing with, that you're interested in, and then you find out there's two other men, or it's just somebody new that comes in April. It could be either way, you know, it could be either way. It could be you already know this person and you find out that, oh wow, I didn't know there was two other men that, you know, were pursuing you, but okay. And it can also be where you meet this new female in the month of April, and she's someone that's very, you know, attractive and someone that sparks your interest, but then you also realize there's two other men that might be as equally interested. I also want to say that it may not be that these men are interested. It may be that they're family members, and it may be that they give you a lot of grief, and you're wondering whether or not you can continue to pursue a relationship, potential relationship with a female, because there's two men that are just jerks and making it really difficult for you. That's what I want to say. Let me look at the 8 of Wands here at the top. Oops. Okay, so on the 8 of Rods, we have cheerfulness and consistency and foe. I feel like this earth sign person that you're dealing with, if you're female, I think when they make you aware that they're interested, I think you know that it would be a bad idea. And I think you need to stick with that, because the cards are saying here there's a consistency with that. That, yeah, it's excitable. This person's definitely excitable, and you could see yourself enjoying this person, but doesn't change the fact that you shouldn't be pursuing something with someone where there can be some negative implications, okay? But this is, I think, a surprise to you, this announcement. For men, those 3 cards on this 8 of Wands, to me, is really talking about a consistency with these male presence in this dynamic. And there's a lack of collaboration, or there's a lack of being able to work together and see eye to eye. Let's look at the 9 of Swords. You know you need to end it, you know, whether you're the male or the female Leo. There's a relationship here that needs to end. I feel like there needs to be a choice about who you're going to end it with, but at the end of April, somebody's going to leave. So you got choices, and you got to make the right choice. For you single females who are pursuing a man. Now, for my males who are seeking a female, I would say, you know, this 9 of Swords here is just telling me you're really concerned about being able to build something legitimate with this person, because you know that something needs to end. And I think you're communicating that this month to this female. You may be putting it out there and just saying, look, you need to pick, and you need to choose, because I'm not gonna wait around. The 3 of Wands is the overall energy, is saying a choice will be made, and you're going in that direction. So by the end of the month, you're going to make a choice. You're going to make a sound choice. It's just you're anxious about what choice to make. So it's pretty interesting, you guys, for my single Leos this month. Sounds like, you know, even though you're single, there's a couple people who are very interested in pursuing you. But you guys are good at that, right? Always have people who are pursuing you. Let's look at the couples and see what's coming in for my coupled Leos. We have the 4 of Cups Ten of Cups, Queen of Swords, Ace of Rods, Eight of Pentacles, Six of Swords, the Sun, Eight of Cups, and the King of Swords. Bottom of the deck, overall energy, King of Wands, which is your energy. So let's see what we have here. Okay. Well, I see a relationship where I want to say that you two aren't communicating effectively, or you may not be communicating at all. I kind of feel like in the beginning of this relationship you had everything together, you had everything you wanted, and time has passed, and now you've maybe spent a lot of time at work or a lot of time doing other things, and you're not as involved in your relationship as you were in the past. And I kind of feel like now, because we go from a Ten of Cups to an Eight of Cups, so I feel like now, you know, something feels like it's lacking or it's missing from the relationship, and there's a disconnect with the communication. It's almost like it's hard for either of you to honestly express what you're needing in this relationship. You can be involved with an air sign, because they're strong, obviously, with the King and Queen of Swords here. There's a strong air element here, so we have Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, right? And I feel like this person, they're a little bit turned off from you, and not turned off by you, I don't want you to think that, but turned off from you. In other words, they've kind of just turned their back, and they're not really listening, and they're not really engaging. It's almost like they're just cold, very cold energy is what I'm kind of feeling here. So there's a lack of intimacy, there's a lack of connection. But anytime we have the Sun here, which I know is also the Leo card, you've come out very strong in all of your readings today. But the Sun highlights every reading it's in. It's always a positive card. The Sun card can never be a negative card. It's always a beautiful card. And I feel like the Sun is shining its light on the rest of the reading. So even though this is a challenging time in your relationship and you feel like, you know, you can't connect, and there's a sense of, you know, not being able to work together, losing that connection, there's hope here because the Sun is here and the Sun is shining its light on this. So don't give up on your relationship. I just feel you two need to maybe spend more time together and stop focusing on your independent goals or day-to-day activities. Try to spend more time together and combine that time that you spend independently doing separate things, and try to do them together. You need that time with your partner. Now, I want to say for some of you, if you're dealing with a female air sign, or it could be the male air sign too, but I feel like somebody's leaving. But at the same time, maybe they're not leaving for good. Maybe they're leaving because I kind of feel like they're pursuing something. So they're leaving for maybe a time, and they will return, and maybe that's the disconnect I'm feeling too. Is maybe they've gone in the month of April, and you're feeling very disconnected from them. But there's hope here. The relationship is still sound. The relationship is still there. they've just had to leave for a time. Maybe to go off to school, maybe to train for a job, maybe for a job, they have to go overseas or something. Let me look at this with the Gypsy Oracle cards. And I'm going to look at I want to look at the Eight of Cups first. Yeah, I feel like somebody's going back. Maybe somebody's going back to school or returning to a study to pursue something. And the Death card is like transformation, trying to transform, trying to better oneself. Now, for some of you, I have to say this is an actual, ending of a relationship, because we have the Death card on the Eight of Cups. So I feel like maybe you've really tried with this person. You've been with this person for quite a while, and you've really tried and you've worked at it, but it just never worked out. It's not turning around for you. So there's an ending to this relationship. But again, the Sun card is here. So I feel like it's not really a negative. If this person does leave, I kind of feel like you're okay with it, because you're unsatisfied in this relationship just as much as they are. So with this 6, wanting to heal. Yeah, wanting to heal. With this Faithful card in the center, this can talk about a lack of loyalty here, or a lack of faithfulness, but I'm really not reading it that way. I'm really kind of seeing it as needing to heal, because being faithful to oneself, like you need to care for yourself first before you can care for someone else, and that being a fortunate thing. So I think that, look, in order for both of us to be happy, we have to be able to trust one another. But we also need to be able to be ourselves first and foremost. And so if we can't be that and have a relationship and keep the passion and keep the relationship alive, then it's, we've tried, we've worked on it, but it's not there. So it's fortunate that you're leaving or they're leaving. It's a very interesting reading, because it's the most positive reading for like the termination of a relationship that I've seen. But again, it doesn't have to be termination. It can just be they're leaving temporarily, they will return. It is a good thing that they're going. It's better for everyone involved, but there's a sense of missing them and feeling that disconnect. Let me finally look at the Sun here. Yeah, the Sun card is saying you're wanting a renewal. You're wanting to maybe even further solidify your relationship by moving in together, or making something like an engagement or proposal, some kind. But if that's the case, I don't think April's going to be the month that you do it in. I think there's planning for that going on in April. But, for those where it's like talking about an ending to a relationship, with the Sun card in this position, it looks like you've been it's just saying here that you've been working on this. You've been wanting this relationship to be successful. I think for those where this message applies, I think you're the one who's going to be ending it. I don't know. Can go either way, guys. Can go either way. It is a general reading. It's hard with these general readings. But if you want a specific, detailed message regarding your situation, feel free to reach out to me for a private reading and we can look at that for you. But I wish you Leos a wonderful month. Much love and light to you in the month of April, and I will see you soon. Bye.